Hey guys, Fat Daddy, doing another update on the greenhouse here. Alright, look what I got here. Alright, I got basil. That's a purple opal basil. Some sweet basil. Some peppers. I think there might be some peppers on that plant, but I'm not sure. Got some kale and some Swiss chard. What I did was, I'm growing stuff, but all this stuff in here, that's all kale. I just broadcasted the seeds in, and then what I do is as I thin it out, I feed them to the rabbits. You see, it's some Swiss chard here. There's some cauliflower, some broccoli. We still have some rosemary in the back there. Some chives. Again, bunch of kale. You see the kale here growing up? There it is. Right there. I thought I was planting beans, and this is actually, if I can find it here. Here. I think it's a acorn squash. I got some pepperoncinis coming out. Look right here. Right? Pepperoncinis coming in. Lots of flowers on the pepperoncinis. Get some kale in there. Got some Swiss chard, some more kale. More broccoli and stuff. Arugula. Check this out. Look at cucumbers. I've never seen cucumbers grow in a cluster. But there's 4 or 5 cucumbers right in that little cluster there. There's more kale. See, I was having a little issue with trying to get enough stuff in this beds to eat up the ammonia in the water here. Let's take a seat here. See, my water's up there. See if I can get the fish for you. See, the fish they're hitting pretty good. You know what you can actually see is the goldfish in there. A couple of goldfish in there, pretty good size. My bed's underneath. Alright, I made some changes with these and from the last video, and you look, I added an LED light there. I got the LED light strips up above, you see. But I added this mylar all the way around on both of these beds. See them here? The mylar. And I actually added mylar to the bottom. See how the light reflects off it now? And it's done much better to get the plants growing much faster in there. The extra light and mylar is bouncing that LED light around, so come out pretty good. You see it from the outside. The other thing I've done is I've had to add a net. You see under here I've added netting on both sides all the way around. What was happening was the fish were jumping out of the tank. And you see I had added net in there. I also plumbed in these. They were here the last time, but I didn't explain what they do. I plumbed in these swirl filters here. What happens, the water comes up this pipe from the tank down here, pumped up the sump pump through that T. It goes either way. It comes up through this line here, this 1/2 inch. Goes in here and does a 90, like that. And it blows the stuff around this filter. And it swirls around like this and rises up. And it drains out here. Just gravity feeds down to the discharge bed. You see the one over there too. And in doing that, it dumps all of its solids, and they can be drained out right here. Just check this out real quick. See how it turns brown? It was. Oh, there it goes. It actually will drain out all those solids. And there's one on both sides. That's cut down on the beds being filled up with medium. the beds, the media in these beds would actually fill right up, and the beds would actually start holding water. Water wouldn't drain through them. So what I have here is, you notice I got a valve there, little goldfish. I got a valve underneath here, just underneath here. Now the pump comes up, and the other difference I made is I raised the pump off the ground, off the bottom of the tank about 6 inches. What's happening was the pump was filling up with sludge and shit, sediment off the bottom of the tank and plugging up the pump. I raised it off the ground and I put a bypass in. You can't see it, but about 6 inches under this pipe right here on the main line coming up is a valve, a T and a valve. It blows water off. Before, I had the line so restricted from that 2-inch pump down to 1-inch PVC teed into 2 half-inch lines. Then each line was throttled back at the valves here to make sure the bed's filled properly. That what was ended up happening was the pumps were overheating. I've gone through 2 sump pumps. This is my 3rd sump pump. So by hooking that T in, I'm blowing the water off. You can see the bubbles now. You can see the water comes down. Where are you? Comes down here, and it swirls that way, and it actually swirls right around the. So it's created a current in the tank. You can see the bubbles all moving. The water now swirls. All the solids are falling into the center of this fish tank, so they're actually easier to siphon out. And it is 73 degrees in here. It's probably 24, 25 degrees outside. And it's all still being heated. You can look right here from my pellet stove. I got that. It ain't gonna show it. It's actually 12 pounds of pressure. And I am at almost 110 degrees water coming in from my pellet stove. So it heats this thing up nice. You can see, look, and you can see the moisture on the walls. You can see the moisture on the floor down here too. It just runs right down. You see the, watch, like rains in here. Look at it. It drips right off. There's a ton of water in here. So it's very humid in here. But that's perfect for a greenhouse. So this is great. So I just figured I'd give you guys an update. I'm going to do an update on the rabbit hutch next. All right? Thanks. Bye.